in that understanding, when we then from our limitedness, right?
Yeah.
And because we do have this form and we have a certain kind of tangible reality that has its limits to it. We can understand some of these realities about God. Like we can understand them, but they at the same time they are super rational, right? They're not irrational, just kind of super rational. They go beyond our understandings in a real sense. But when we look at God and we have this kind of approach to his simplicity, from where we are in this limited capacity in this created world, sometimes it is seen not as this kind of beautiful simplicity, but as this radical complexity that we can't make sense of, right? So how is our experience of this kind of simplicity of God in the fact that he just is?
Yep.
And sometimes I either work with students or have worked with individuals in class where like they're wrestling with this reality and you just try to help them to understand, no, God doesn't have these kind of parts or elements to him that we then construct this deity out of, but he is all-knowing. He just is in that reality. And that can be kind of overwhelming or maybe even intimidating in a real sense. And so from our limited capacity, when we're approaching God in his simplicity, sometimes it confounds us and it seems actually too complex, because of the fact that we have form and we have this understanding. So when you're helping others to maybe approach God in his simplicity, is that a terrifying reality? Is that like, how should we approach God, understanding how he interacts with creation that we've seen, as it unfolds throughout the rest of the Summa and things like that? But when we approach him in that simplicity, how should we approach that? Does that give comfort or does that kind of create terror within us because we can't understand that, because I know I'm radically complex in all of my parts, but he's not. I don't know how to understand that simplicity.
Father Bonaventure, if you had the choice between holding a toad and subscribing to a YouTube channel, what would you choose?
Subscribe to a toad holding a YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh. Please subscribe to a toad holding a YouTube channel, especially if it's ours. Cheers.